Yeah, dog. Welcome to R2R live stream number 29. Don't forget to smash the like button. Happy Friday to everybody out there in the Titanx community, everybody out there in the crypto space. If you're on YouTube, don't forget to smash the like button, headbutt the like button, drop a comment, post notifications, drop a comment, all that good stuff. If you're on X, don't forget to like it, retweet it, repost, re-exit. What do they call it? Repost? It's not a retweet, it's just a repost, right? Something like that. But don't forget, right? For disclaimer purposes out there, I am not a financial advisor. I'm for damn sure not a professional. This is cryptocurrency. You got to do your own research and don't ever allow a social media influencer on any social media platform out there to influence you when it comes to cryptocurrency because you could get wrecked. All right. So now we got that out of the way. I had some soda. Oh, feels so good. It's Friday. Who wants to learn how to up that bag of Titanx? Yeah. Yeah. You know, I had somebody the other morning go, after talking to me for so long, homie's like, bro, what's Titanx? I was like, Titan, you don't know what Titanx is? Bro. And he's like, yeah, tell me about Titanx. I never heard of it.
Yeah, you keep telling me that. Who is she? What? The Sultan of Swat. The King of Crash. The Colossus of Clout. The Colossus of Clout. Babe Ruth! The Great Bambino!
Oh my God, I love that movie. The Great Bambino, the Colossus of Clout. All right. This is Titanx, man. If you don't know about Titanx and you're barely learning about it now, I mean, bro, you've been missing out, but it's not too late. It's not too late. It's not too late. All right. It is not too late to get on board. What it is too late for is to make a bunch of miners and make a bunch of Titanx, right? The difficulty is the first halving happens at what, the end of October, right? So you can't just mint it. You gotta make it. You gotta make it. You gotta earn it. And how are you gonna earn it? We'll get into that. Let's go to the chat really quick here. What's up, Bartle Town? LOL. I bet you like that little clip there. Salute. What's going on, fam? Dan, what's the name of the movie again? The Sandlot. Remember The Sandlot? That's what that came from. The Great Bambino. All right. So that's Titanx right there. The Great Bambino. The Babe Ruth of the crypto space. Knocking home runs on every launch. Titanx, Hyper, Hydra, whatever else everyone is building on. Who did I forget about? Inferno, soon to be Flux, Helios, everything. Knocking them out of the park, right? And everybody wants to know, like, what is this that Thomas G is talking about? Well, let me tell you something. I was on one of my wallets the other day, and I was ratio trading. I've talked about the ratio trading before. And I was like, you know what? My public wallet that I'm showing miners, I wanted to start ratio trading there. So I went from Titanx to DragonX. And then I was like, I changed my mind. I'm going to keep the ratio trading on my separate wallet. You know, it's not doxed. I don't want to go there just yet. So I immediately traded my DragonX on my public wallet for Titanx. And I made a Hydra miner. So cool. I did that. And today I went on one of my wallets that did it's about like a $15,000 move I did, right? From Titanx to DragonX around the same time that I moved from Titanx to DragonX on my public wallet and then back. And then I thought, looking at the numbers that I made and what I did, I go, I can show the simple mistake. One would call it a mistake, even though I didn't lose money, but I made very little Titanx on top of it because I had no intentions of actually doing this or making this video. I go, you know what? I can show, because it's already public and I've doxed this wallet, what it could have been and what it is on my other strategy that I have going on. Every wallet's got a different strategy. So I go, I'm going to start doing this. So we're going to take a look here on DBank. I'm going to explain to you something here, right? There's a transaction you see on September the 19th here on DBank. And it's where I swapped 1.2, so 1,207,979,198 Titanx for 110,920,376 DragonX. And within 15 hours, you'll see there, I was like, I'm gonna swap out of this. Like, I'm gonna just make miners on this account. And that's what I plan on demonstrating. When I did this, if you go to Dex Screener and you look at the ratios, I've been telling you guys to look at ratios, and I got so good at ratios trying to dig myself out of the hole from that sacrifice and pulse chain. So any of you who were heavy in pulse chain and you had to ratio trade your way into break even, you should be a master of this, right? So I'm showing the ratio between one Dragon X trades off at a ratio of one Dragon X gets you 13.8 Titan X today, right now. When I made that trade, however, it was about a 1 to 11.3 or something like that, right? So the ratio was lower. Now it's higher. So what I did and what I should have done here, and which I should do here, instead of just making the miner, I can make that miner for free. Well, how do you make the miner for free? All right. You can see on DBank that the Titanx I swapped back has a value of $967 when I swapped it. I ended up like with roughly, give or take, like 27 million more Titanx. Had I swapped this amount of Dragon X today, it shows you the value. It's $1,200 value versus a $967 value that I swapped back into to make the miner. Well, you should have waited, right? And this is the strategy I'm playing across the board now in every wallet, especially for the miners I collect. If I had done that ratio today on this wallet, I would have got back 1,530,789,925 Titanx at the ratio that it is today at this given moment. So if you pull up a calculator really quick here, clear this out. I ended up, and it won't let me copy and paste. Damn, I don't like that. I hate that. But let me type it in for you guys anyways. I gotta click over here. 1530, and then I'm gonna switch back without switching screens. 789. So I get the exact number. 925, right? 925. Out of 925 here. So the off trade, if going back to what I originally started with, which was a swap of 1.2 billion, I'm just going to subtract it on the calculator so you guys can see, firsthand. I'm going to deduct this amount because it's going to give me what I coulda, woulda, shoulda ended up with at the end of the day, at the end of the road, right, as one would say, on the calculator. So I'm taking this number like I'm showing you here, and I'm plugging it in, right? 07979. See 07979. I'm still on the calculator page. I'll get back there too in a second. We're looking at DBank. 198. So 198. Now we're here. 198. So the trade-off difference on that ratio trade would have got me a plus this amount here, which is like 322,992,727 Titanx. Where you go, cool, like that's not a lot. Well, in the grand scheme of things, it can turn out to be a lot. And here's why. Because this is a way to compound your Titanx through the ratios. You come here to Dex Screener now and you go, well, let me plug in that amount that Thomas G just showed on camera. And if you do that, you'll see in USD value, it's $252. Okay, great. Well, that's $252 of free Titanx that you got on the ratio swap. So that's the additional where that number came from, right? This is 322,992,727 Titanx for that ratio trade. So you think if I take, showing the calculator here, if I take that $252 value and I divide it in half. And remember, that's with like what was it? Well, like a $1,200 investment of Titanx at the beginning. You split that off for $126, and you keep $126 of free Titanx to add to the bag for the next ratio trade. You can hop over to Hydra and literally make a miner 88-day length, 15 power with the extra Titanx that you have after you split it in half, keeping the other half to compound your balance and keeping this half to literally make a free miner on the house for that ratio trade there. So you still got a little bit more Titanx on top, a little icing on the cake, but you get a free miner out of it because you're taking that Titanx. You're not selling it for ETH. You're participating in Hydra. So if people are playing this ratio trading on a large scale, it continues to feed Hydra, which burns Titanx, and it gives you free positions on miners, which miner ROI later down the road, let's say it's 300%, right, on $118. Well, you're 300% on a free $118 miner, right? And then your compounded Titanx, which is about roughly, what was the half? What was the half there? $126, right? Your $126 going back to the calculator. If this 5x's, let's say 10x is down the road, right? 10x is down the road. What am I doing here? Or $1,260 on a ratio trade that ultimately was split up and had 200, what was it, a 200 and $300 or 200 plus value, and it's now worth 1,260 of free house money, and then the 300% with Hydra. So think of it on that small scale, and we'll take a look at D-Bank really quick, because I was like, this is a perfect opportunity to show people to learn from like this ratio, what it could have, should have, what it could have, what it should have been, right? It was when I went in roughly like $968. Now the value is $915. So I definitely, if you think you're dealing with $5,000, let's say you have 5 times the amount, then you've earned 5 times the amount of free Titanx. And whatever percentage of that you want, you can roll it back into free miners and Hydra. That's the secret sauce. And you got to watch for the ratio here for this opportunity. Type in 1 Dragon X to 1 Titanx to go back down, because you'll be able to do this. And this is why, to me, it's not so much of like a rodeo dangerous play, because ultimately you want more Titanx at the end of the road that's going hyper deflationary. But ultimately, you want more Dragon X too, right? That's hyper deflationary. So in between trades, right, you're never really wrecked with 2 tokens that the supply is becoming deflationary, hyper deflationary for both tokens. And these ratio trades happen at different levels of price, and they will exist. Sometimes you might get a 1 Dragon X to 15 Titan X, and it may drop down to 1 to 10, and then that's your opportunity to get back in. Ultimately, as you go on, you're stacking more Titanx when you're doing it at the right time. So it's like fishing. When you fish, you got to wait. So you got to be patient to time this. On my wallet that I'm doing this right now with a much larger amount, I had a good swap. So I made 5 times that amount that I just showed you, right? What was it? I forget the amount. Well, I did between 2 other ones. So it was a good amount. So I was able to make some juicy miners and stack up Titanx for the next ratio trade. Now I'm going in with more than I originally did. I'm going to make more cherries on the top. And those miners are going to be free from profit. So that is what I want you guys to understand, what the power of ratio trading and how you can end up making free miners, how you can end up with more Titanx or more Dragon X, depending on how you work the magic here. And go from a position where you can no longer mint the hell out of it. Everyone feels like once supply shock's here, this is going to be the only way to position yourself, other than doing the all the other leverages and other platforms, derivatives and all that stuff to make more Titanx. But the trade-off here is going to keep going to different price levels. but the ratios are going to be there. And it's been there for Pulse for a long time. That's how you were able to ratio trade, get more Pulse. Because if you're down 50% on Pulse chain, what I learned early on, why did a ratio trade my way back to have 50% more Pulse chain to break even? Then when you're down 99%, that bag's going to double. And it continues just to snowball. Once you get good at this, you notice at the end of the road, you'll have more Titanx that you started off with, which has been really nice in the past, since the end of August for me, ratio trading. And then now I'm applying them. I was applying them to Hyper, but now instead of selling Titanx to go to ETH to do Hyper, I have a wallet that's strictly doing this strategy. So it doesn't dump the Titanx, but it buys the Hydra miners with the house money, and it keeps compounding the Titanx for bigger bag sizes to continue the strategy, which ultimately, if people know how to do this and they use this strategy, that means there's more money going into the Hydra smart contract, which has $7.3 million. Now, you have to think, if Titanx 5Xs from here, right, that's going to be worth $35 million plus of buy pressure to come and buy DragonX off the market, which then DragonX buys and burns Hydra off the market. And the more strategic good actors you have that are saying, hey, I'm making free Titanx basically out of thin air by ratio trading and having more, even when let's say you make 500 million Titanx. You say, I'm going to keep 250 million in the bag, take the other 250 million and make a Hydra miner. And you're adding more Titanx still, and you're adding more Hydra for the long run. 88-day lengths are where it's at. Let's see a question. So where do you see the price of Titanx after the bull run? That's a good question. There's gonna be a lot in the pots to buy and burn a token like this. The way I see it playing out is playing it from the bottom. We'll go to the calculator, right? Really quick here. Playing it from the bottom, Titanx at 6 zeros, 3, 1, 2, 3, and a 1, 6. If it does a 1000x, a huge 1000x, right? That would be three zeros and a 1, 6. Let's just say at the peak of the bull market, it did that, and you're lucky to sell off close to that. If you want to be more conservative, we can do that because I don't want to throw crazy numbers out there. Let's just say the 6 zeros and a 1, 6 times a 500x in a bull market for a token that's going to have supply shock. That's not bad. Plus, you have 4 zeros and an 8, the number 8, right? You would think, well, the corrections are going to happen. So if you divide that, 50% correction when the bear market happens. All right, we're at 4 zeros and a 4. Another 50% correction happens. All right, we're at 4 zeros and a 2. You see what I'm saying? Another 50% correction happens, and you're going on and on, as time goes on and going into the bear. And as you start to see, another 50% correction. We're still now at 5 zeros and a 5, right? So calculate the amount of where it would be after, a 75 to 95% dip. You can keep cutting it in half. And as many times as you cut it in half, right, as you go along, you'll see here that there could be, because of the supply shock, the amount of tokens being burned, a floor price that's roughly like at 5 zeros and like a 5. Which right now we're at 6 zeros and a 7-8. So in a bear market, we could be, at 5 zeros and a 5, or 5 zeros and a 2-5, and then take years to come back, during that cycle as Titanx continues to build, and then go from more X's to surpass all-time highs of what could be predicted as 4 zeros and an 8. Hit that again in the next bull cycle and go off, because in 2,000 days, the mining difficulty is basically 55,000x. That's where the number comes from, with all the halvings that happen every year, like 2,000 plus days, something like that. So you got to imagine that what'll happen is people that have Titanx for that long term are the only ones that are going to see, multiple thousands of X's from the original bottom that happened, you'd say in 2024. So that's where staking might pull in. I like when we talk more realistic moon math, very responsible approach. Yeah, man, this is simple and easy. You want to take advantage of the ratios at this point. So the ratio's high. Why? Because Dragon X has outperformed Titanx historically since this movement has happened. So the ratio trading is juicy. Dragon X is up 22.43% in the 24-hour time frame right now, versus Titanx, if we go take a look at that, is down 2.07. So you got outpaced in the 24-hour mark. If you had made the trade-off like I showed on DBank, where I made that trade on the 19th, and then on this wallet, I waited to make the trade today, I got my $230 in profit, keep 100 and some change in Titanx to stack to compound the strategy to build my position, and then simply go to Hydra, take the remaining, and make a cheap little miner. $110. These ratios are happening like every other day, like within 24-hour periods, constantly, if you're catching them. So that's where collecting your Titanx miners, like my biggest mining wallet's collecting Titanx, and it's adding more that I can do this. On top of that, let's say you have a $20,000 bag, right? Which is 20x more than what I just showed you on camera from this wallet that did that, what you would call a mistake, or didn't catch the opportunity because I wanted to make the miner. Then that would have been 20x what I made, right? 20x on what I made would be, or what I could have made, which was like $232. Now you have $4,600. We could split that. You don't even have to split that in half. You can go, well, if you split that in half, right? You can say, hey, this 2,300 is for miners. The other 2,300 is to stack in Titanx to keep my position. Or you could put that 2320 to anywhere else in crypto, whatever you want. Different strategies, different wallets. You have to have the hustler's mentality. And what you would look for now is for Dragon X to cool off, while Titanx has like a little run to catch up, right? And you're gonna just be able to go to Deck Screener and say, all right, we're here. I want to make this happen with my Titanx when this goes back to like a 1-11 ratio and some change, whatever it may be, just like it was recently. And then I want to sell out my Dragon X back for more Titanx when it goes back up to the 13s. It can go up to 14, 15. A lot of things can happen with what's going on with Hydra. And then you have more Titanx, and you can split off to make the free miners. It's very, very simple and easy. It's like fishing. You have to sit there and just watch, read a magazine, chill. When the opportunity comes, you end up with free Titanx, and you can make free miners, or take that and go buy something else in crypto. Man, 223% ROI Titan miner coming soon to me, 928. That's freaking awesome. X2 of them. Nice, very nice. And then back to the ROI of Hydra. I did some tweets about this yesterday. All right. Let me pull up the price of Hydra. It's interesting because the way they've done this so far with the liquidity and the market cap and not burning tokens right now at a large scale. If you go to Hydra app really quick here, they're only buying and burning $304 of with Dragon X to burn Hydra once per hour, right? Because they're not trying to buy first tokens that are not even really in existence yet, but they're not trying to pump the price and then people that have short-term miners sell into that. They're saying, hey, let the price drop. If I were them, because you're not going to zero. There's an $82,000 market cap. The market cap right now is reflecting the ROI at this point. ROI is 2,157%. When the price doubles, you see the ROI double. It's based off the price, right? And the price moves with the market cap. So somebody's like, well, more tokens come into circulation, and then you're getting this many apples for this price, and then this happens. And I was like, oh, maybe you're right. But if you really follow it, there's not a whole lot of room to go down. Like if it goes down another 50%, and we're at a $41 million market cap from here, then you're looking at ROI being, $1,100. Then if it cuts in half again to a $20,000 market cap, then you're like at 550 plus ROI. I think the way they set up the LP, the way they're not burning tokens right now, they're washing out the early short-term miners and not giving them much room or liquidity to cash out. Your only option is like wait to farm with it or wait when that time happens. So short-term miners are getting wrecked. They're not like Titanx where it was buying to keep up with the inflation and to keep the price, to keep ROI miner up, and people were selling into that, making tons of money on short-term miners. In this case, it's like there's no action. And the little action that happens brings down the price, but based off the ratio between liquidity and market cap, the ROI is still juicy. So I think at the worst case scenario, you're going to still see 300 to 500% in the long run, but maybe more. It might have been designed to sustain high ROI, to bring an influx of Titanx to be utilized to buy and burn, because the only thing that's going to slow down Hydra is when you see here, to make this miner an 88-day linked miner on a power of 100, it's $788. That's 1 billion Titanx. What happens when Titanx 5x's? It's going to cost 5x the amount to make this miner. So people that don't have Titanx are going to have to buy it at a 5x dollar amount from today to get this type of Hydra miner, which is going to be unlikely that a lot of people are going to be able to do that, other than the people that have Titanx and are ratio trading right now. I think that it has enough already made from the success of the launch to move forward from here. But in between now and the 5x zone, when this becomes 2 times more expensive, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, a lot more Titanx is going to be used. And there's going to be a time where inflation will probably slow down because of the cost. But what would you be worried about when you have all of this Hydra? We'll take a look. Where's the Hydra? All this Hydra sitting right here, 7.3 million in the Hydra the buy Dragon X, not all this Hydra, all this Titanx, $7.3 million. Again, 5x, that means it's $35+ million. Then you have the Vortex, which has $1 million in the back pocket. Then you hop over, all right, and you look at the buy and burns of Titanx, which the value will go up of Ethereum. Ethereum doubles, this will be worth double. Then you have the V1 that hasn't been touched. Titanx doubles or triples. This doubles or triples. Plus, there's no inflation coming out. So supply shock's going to be crazy. Everything's going to get really expensive to play around here. Now is the time, between now and where the real supply shock happens after day 369 and inflation dies off all in the month of November to practically nothing leading into December. It's going to be really expensive to play this game. It's going to be very expensive to play this game. And by then there's already going to be a ton of Titanx, and as far as value, already in the Hydra contract. And then the price of Ethereum going up helps Titanx because it's a leverage to that. Your only option is to play the ratios at this point, to earn more Titanx, and even to make miners that are costing you nothing. Because if you keep doing that, even when the price goes up, you'll have some free Titanx you made to go into that with the cost. You're like, oh, whatever, this is free. Versus somebody who has to buy it off the market to chase these juicy APRs. New users will still be attracted because of the high APR. I think by design it was made that way. We'll see how it plays out. We'll see how it plays out. Then you have, to me, what I think is like the hidden gem, Hyper. Hyper ROI is still at 177%, right? And I'm making my miners. If you look at the buy and burn at this point on Hyper, $3.8 million in ETH 2X's, that 2X's. Vortex is building again. We just had the day 196 release, which shot all this Titanx into here, almost $1 million, and it added ETH to here. So the next release will be at like the end of December for Hyper. And then Hydra has the same mechanics with the Vortex as well. It has $1 million in the back pocket. That'll continue to grow in addition to growing this. So there's going to be a frenzy once the price starts going up to get these miners now. And people are like, oh, supply is going to, like, it's not going to continue to have crazy inflation because of how high the price is going to go up. It's going to cost you Titanx to get in, and Titanx is going to go parabolic soon. So that's what's going to slow it down. And then you have a period, right, of where the inflation is high. But what does it matter in an environment where man versus smart contract is fighting for Titanx during supply shock? And Hydra is bonded to DragonX, which DragonX is bonded to Titanx. Titanx rises all the tides. Obviously, if DragonX is taking off, since Hydra is heavily bonded with DragonX, the tides rise together, Hart's law. And then the rise of Ethereum, overall, the ultimate leverage is rising, bringing Titanx up. That's why I think like inflation is not going to really matter in the month of December, where you're like, bunch of tokens are coming out, man. This is going to dump. That was the worst decision ever. It might have been for Titanx on the short-term time frame at the early stage when all there was Titanx and nothing but inflation was coming out. And it was going to have that period of just continuing to go down. Now you have an entire ecosystem built around this to manage that during supply shock. This is not the same scenario of when Titanx released. This is not the same scenario of when Hyper released. This is completely different. It's all in the numbers. It's all in the numbers. It is all there. I'll pull up, and we look at this every time I do live stream. I'll pull it up on screen for you in a second. To the Dune Analytics by the good man Mike Dean, right? And you see, we're going from here to here. And here, when all the inflation from Hydra comes out, Titanx is going to have you're going to not be fighting so much with me to buy Titanx because I don't need to buy it. I made enough early on. Everybody wants to buy it to continue to play because they don't have enough. We'll probably still be buying it, obviously. But you're going to be battling with all these smart contracts that are triggered to buy it by the hour. And they got millions of dollars. So they're buying a bunch of Titanx. It's no longer in inflation mode. It's in hyperinflationary mode. So you can't say because Hydra has tons of inflation coming out in December, it's going to be bad for the price flow. No, it's bonded to DragonX. And that'll be hyperinflationary along with Titanx. And we speculate ETH will be going up. We'll be in a bull market hopefully by then. So what would tie it down other than if it launched and it was only bonded to ETH, then we're in trouble. But it's bonded to DragonX. It's DragonX hyper deflationary time frame. It's going to go crazy. Look at the numbers. If we look at here, you go to the stats page. They just added this. Really like this here. You see the supply of Hydra, 3.7 trillion. No, 3.7 billion. And you can see the pie chart. Then you have DragonX stats down here, the almost 5.4 trillion. 3.9, almost 5.4 trillion. But you're going to start seeing this pie of liquid Dragonex depreciate when its day 369 kicks in and starts buying and burning with ETH. But also when Hydra itself kicks in, they're not doing anything right now with it. They're letting the short-term miners just like get no action, right? All they can do is sell, and they're not selling into a bunch of buy pressure from the smart contracts. We're not using any of the money. It's $300 an hour, chump change, in an environment where you have $7.3 million of Titanx to get the whole show on and popping. This is some powerful stuff that's going on here. It's the unknown, and I'm forecasting the unknown and thinking, okay, I see what you did there. I see what you did there. I understand it too. I completely understand what's going on here. When people realize what's going on, right? There's really no reason to buy. Looking at the price of Hydra, there's no reason to buy Hydra because it's better to mint it. So people that are selling it are going to continue to sell it. The ROI is not going to go much lower from here due to the market cap to liquidity ratio. The ROI is going to stay up, so people are going to keep making miners. And this, I think this was just designed to rise with the tides, right? Because if you remain in ROI and it's better to make a miner, why buy this? You're not getting a good deal. You're not getting a good deal. If you buy $500 worth of Hydra, right now you get 18.6 million Hydra. All right, versus right now, if you mint it for a $500 value, which the miner has to be like around here, we'll say about 65 for power, right? $512, give or take. Get it right there. Bring it down. So as you can see here, how much more you would get making a miner. 480 million. Now you get the 480 million down the road after 88 days, but it's still a better deal. Still a better deal. Later down the road, I don't think you're gonna be able to spend $500 to get that amount because the tides are all going to be going parabolic. Everything's going to start rising, and it's based off the math and numbers you see in the supply shock happening with Titanx and what's soon to come with DragonX. Which you go to the stat page here, and you start to see the action taking place for DragonX, which means Hydra buying burns in full effect, and phase 369, and then anything else that's built on top of it. By December, that's going to be November, entire 30 days into burning DragonX, and the excitement and FOMO and the ratios that are going into it. People are going to use their Titanx to get more DragonX to ride that wave. The pairing with Hydra is a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing, really is. Let's see. My 3-day mines of Hydra is down. What's best to do? I think the mistake was already been made, man. You just got to hold it now. So, it was long-term miners. They played everybody that was doing short-term miners. They didn't play them. They let you play yourself pretty much. They're not going to support short-term mindsets by triggering the buy and burn right now so you can cash out of profits. It was a mistake that they did with Titanx and Hyper. They learned from it and they fixed it. Hyper is going to be wild. Yeah, Hyper is definitely going to be wild. And then for those people that are still out there, they're saying, what is Titanx? What is Titanx? You better learn. Do I have to play the clip?
Yeah. You keep telling me that. Who is she? What? The Sultan of Swat. The King of Crash. The Colossus of Clout. The Colossus of Clout. Babe Ruth! The Great Bambino!
The Great Bambino. That's what Titanx is going to be known for in the crypto space. No doubt about it. You don't have enough Titanx? Yeah, nobody does, man. It's going to be supply shock. We're going to be fighting smart contracts for this freaking token. Man versus machine. Man versus smart contract. And I think the smart contracts are going to beat us. I'm thinking Inferno is going to pop off first. When you think Inferno will shock us? Inferno's already shocking me. I got into it early and I'm happy. And it's going to ride the wave, man. It's just like one of those tokens you got to hold and let it all play out. It's done as far as inflation. So it's kind of like Dragon X in a sense, but a meme token version that's already burned a lot of its supply, and now it has an ecosystem being built around it. Flux and everything else will contribute. Do you prefer Hydra or Hyper? Both. There's no one or the other. I always look at the percentage gains and divide by 3 to play it safe. Oh yeah, play it safe is always the key. Classic, yeah, that's a classic. Well, I love the Sandlot. So yeah, these are a lot of things we gotta understand. So as you come back here to look at the price of Hydra, it don't matter. It don't matter. It don't matter that it's 53% down. It doesn't matter. The ROI is still appealing. The ROI is still appealing to bring in new users. The ROI is still on and popping. Drop another 50%, brings us down to 1,000. Then drop another 50% from there. It's 500%. Oh, I can get 500% 88 days down the road, and this thing's bonded to Dragon X that's already outperforming Titanx, and that's prior to Titanx going hyperinflationary, hyperdeflationary, from hyperinflationary to hyperdeflationary. All tides rise with Titanx. This tide outperforms Titanx as it is. I'm bonded to it. Supply shock. Duh. You know, like it's all there for you. It's all there for you to see. It's all there for anybody that wants to open their eyes and see. And just like I showed earlier on with the strategy, that's going to be your best bet. You know, if you don't want to wait 88 days for miners and all this and that, you know, you could make them for free with my strategy. For free. For free. Free 99. All it takes is a little bit of time to throw that, get your fishing pole out, toss it out, set the rail, let it sit, wait for it to give you the ratio of your liking, extract that value, stack up the bag, buy more Hydra miners, buy more Hyper miners, shoot, buy whatever you want. It's house money. And that's how you play the game. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, if there's any other questions here, I'll give you guys a couple minutes to ask any more questions. I'll answer them, but it's Friday. I got to end this stream. You know, I do an hour, usually 30 minutes, but I think I got my point across. I think you guys are going to see exactly things start to play out. Dragon X should cool off, you know, and Titan X, as Dragon X cools off, Titan X should start bringing up the price a little bit. You're not going to sit here and wait for it to happen in the next hour. It may happen in the next 24 hours. You'll see the trade-off for Titan X will start to go in the green, right? Dragon X may have a pullback, or Dragon X goes up a little bit, right? But Titan X goes up like 20, 30%. And the ratio's there, presents itself again. So you got to watch out for that. Just plug it in, man. Just plug it in. I showed you how to do it on a deck screener. You plug it in on Uniswap. You can see all that good stuff. Have fun, man. This is like the easiest money you'll ever make in your life. Ratio trading it. And it's not like you're ratio trading between two assets and one of them you don't want to be stuck with. You're going to love whichever one you decide to go with, to be honest. What's the benefits of triggering the buy and burn? So buy and burn, if you are lucky enough to trigger that, gets a, depending on what smart contract you're talking about, right? User reward for this one, $3.15. That goes up once they kick this up, right? It's only $630. So if it's like $6,000, that's 10 times the amount. It would be $30 user reward. Same thing with this one. User rewards are all listed on every smart contract across the Titanx ecosystem, whichever one you decide. All right. It's good to have a G like you as a streamer for Titanx as well. Thanks, bud. LFG. Hey, thank you, Crypto Monster. Welcome. Hey, man, do me a favor, everybody. get the algorithm going on YouTube. Smash the like button, drop a comment, post notifications, subscribe. Second favorite, go on X, repost this, put all your hashtags, like it, and get the word out there. I want to continue to make this content. When you guys are here, got 117 live. A lot of people having conversations with me, asking questions. I do this for you on my spare time, free time, every morning. I got a family, got 6 kids, got a wife, all that. So I don't get a paycheck from YouTube, right? There's no, especially with the followers I had a 30,000 subscriber following. Then I would make maybe like $1,000 per month on YouTube. Now it's like $100 or whatever. So I'm not getting paid for this. I truly come out with my opinions and what I believe is happening, and I'm always going to be transparent. I admit I take losses, I take wins, I do I have emotions and all that, and I try to make content to help you elevate your game. And if you guys have any feedback for me to elevate my game, I take the feedbacks. I'm a very humble person. I don't think I know it all. I believe other people. Your network is your net worth. So the people that you meet and you realize they become your friends and you trust them, you realize they have good attributes to your crypto game to help you expand your portfolio. I'm open to anybody. Which token gonna explode first in your opinion? To be 100% honest with you, even though if you can't beat them, join them, right? I'm the one who took the L here on this one early on for having a problem with the Titanx ecosystem. We saw me go through that emotions about the staking. People that I felt really angry about that didn't ROI like myself. Because as much as I say, don't influence me, don't take influence, don't be influenced by me. People are influenced. I think Titanx is going to be the one. Billy Gunn, the whole ecosystem is going to go up. 23 likes. Smash that like. Only 23 likes. Oh, we need more than that. We need more than that, right? Is there anything called NeuroX coming to Hyper? I don't know. I didn't hear about that, to be honest. Kung Fu Tech, what up? Smash the like button if you like how he matched his cap with his hoodie. Damn, I need to wear my gray sweater. I need to wear my blue sweater. I need to wear my Cowboys hat. Represent. We hated Dragon X at first with you, man. Yeah, it wasn't that like I hated that what happened to people, right? I saw the tokenomics and how it was designed, and I personally loved it. Prior to the stake debacle, like I said, I had a friend who went 50 G's 3 days before the Genesis wallet went in there and diluted it right before day 90 payout, which would have been the biggest payout for everybody and would have put a lot of people to ROI or past it. But that's the past, and you move on. We love it now. Absolutely. Laugh out loud. Thanks for sharing your knowledge with us, bro. And thank you for being here. A big thank you. If you want to thank me, pound the like button on both YouTube and X. Retweet it. Share this video on all social media platforms out there. I'm gonna have some people live from the Titanx community. I did talk with Marco. Marco finally hit me up about the hat. I go on every live stream that Marco's on. I go, "What's up, homie? You rugged me on this hat," because we talked like months ago. He was like, "I'll get back to you about the hat," and then it just never go back to me. I was like, he's probably a little mad because I said some things back then about not him, but the whole Dragon X thing, and I don't know, maybe he forgot, but I hounded him. He finally reached out, and we're gonna get the hat so I can wear that on stream. I asked for a Titanx hat, and then on top of that, we're like, we got to live stream it. So Marco is one of those persons that's like, I need to go not head on. I need to have this conversation, just like I have with Richie B, of somebody who's been in the game as long as me, and have this conversation between the two. Speaking of that, look at No Spoon, in the game of chess, you adjust the moves your opponent makes on the board. You start off with one plan, but that changes based on how the game goes. Same with crypto. Yes. Another person, now that you're here, I can mention you, is someone who's been in the game as long as me. Me and me and Ray, Bartertown Conglomerate, go way back when DeFi was on and popping on Tron and all that stuff was happening. And we've gone to many networks together that have succeeded and didn't really succeed at the rate that we wanted. We went to Binance Smart Chain, killed it. We were killing it on Tron. Binance Smart Chain killed it. We went to Phantom. We got the Phantom run. He got me, involved with a little Avalanche. So I was like, hey, I don't know about Avalanche. Avalanche didn't do too well. And then we went over and we've done the Pulse chain. We've done all kinds of chains. But I would love to have you on stream. Put your little icon. I know you don't show your face and all that, but be on camera so we can connect, talk crypto, because I can't talk on this level with a lot of people. And we'll do it on my channel, your channel. We'll do it both communities. Love you, brother. Love to have you on. Let's see who else is here. Thanks, Thomas. My go-to for DeFi perspective. Hey, appreciate that. Oh, Bartertown said we can do it. You heard it. You got to hold it to him. Hopefully I don't have to chase him down like Marco for a year and troll him on every stream, but I'll hold him to it. I talk to him a lot, so we can make that happen. It'll be real fun. I think Bartertown and Thomas G coming together. You got Kobe and Shaq on the same squad for one day to talk crypto, man. We're just slam dunk alley-oop that entire live stream with Alpha. The entire live stream is going to be Kobe Shaq highlights. All right, I can tell you right now. Stream with Marco would be nice. Yeah, Marco. He's got high IQ in crypto, and he's got a commanding voice. He's got that commanding voice. Marco will outpace everyone, and he's just like he's smart. He's smart. All right, chop it up. Bartertown, right on. They want it. Let's see. Do it in Spanish. BBC to $5 in 2025. Talk about BBC 9-inch exchange. Once Richard Hart is on the scene and he brings the sacrifice money and all that, like people think, tides will rise together. But I don't think, especially after what happened with 9mm, why would I use 9-inch if I can use PulseX? That's the home base. There's no real incentive. It was designed for meme tokens, but meme tokens never popped on 9-inch. So the whole narrative would have worked better on ETH if they blew up on ETH. So they kind of just got left in the dust. $5 in a bull market with the amount of tokens that people have been able to compound from the bro farm and all that. What I know from wallet sizes and what I think Hexy probably has, you'd be lucky if you get to $1.50, 50 cents. But there's gonna be a lot of sell pressure on that token. I mean, no one really needs to use it. Appreciate the content. Thank you for being here. Yeah, dog, stream at the verse. I like the verse. Some people reach out to me and I forget. They get lost in I had a guy messaged me on X, and I was like, I ought to get back to him. And then never got back to him because I can't find his reply. And I looked for him, and then I found him on somebody else streamed his stream. He did an interview with Jake. I forget his name, but I want to do it. But Verse, yeah, I'd love to live stream with Verse. That guy is he's a G, bro. I'm stacking my BBC, still compound my BBC on the daily and move on. $1 BBC is good enough. Yeah, like I said, target for that 50 cents to $1. People are gonna cash out. Ta-da! I'm out. I'm out. I haven't even drank my full Diet Coke Zero. Maybe one day I'll be sponsored by Coke Zero or maybe Prime. Yeah, Logan Paul. I'm gonna work my channel until I get there. I'm gonna have Prime right here. Bam. My Prime energy drink, my Prime regular drink. I'm gonna say this is the proud sponsor of Prime. Then at 99 cents, I'm out. Yeah. You and everybody else, bro. Shoot. From as low as it went, people might be out at 20 cents with the big bag. And catch PulseX on the big up, and Hex and all that good stuff. All right, guys. Happy Friday. Are we doing a live stream tomorrow? Let's see. Yeah, my son's got like tons of MMA classes for like 5 hours. So I have a time frame. Yeah, he has like 5 hours of training tomorrow and a couple hours on Sunday. So that might be a different time. I think I do the live stream tomorrow, probably like around the same time, 10:30, 11, give or take. Maybe do like a 30-minute stream. That's all we do on our spare time is fight, wrestle, wrestle, um, boxing, jujitsu. That's all my kids know what to do is to eat, shit, and fight. That's it. That's all. I'm training soldiers. I'm training soldiers, and it's fun too. You know, now they're getting older. I don't have to sit in the seats for 5 hours out of the day. I can, my son's older. He can defend himself. Man, my boy is years away from high school. I've seen him drop people that are 14, 15 years old and put them in tears. And I'm like, bro, like you're little Mike Tyson. It's weird because he has this Tyson power on his left hand and his right hand. So I'm like, that's God given. But in addition to that, this fool loves birds. Mike Tyson loved pigeons. So I'm like, maybe there's something going on there. What are you? There's going to be a time, I think, in the next year or two. And right now, too, when I spar with him, like, when he hits me with a body shot, bro, like, I'm like, oh, okay, hold on, I need a break. But I'm like, you got me good to the liver. Too young to have that power. So I can't imagine when he's 18, but in the next few years when he gets that man strength, it's gonna be crazy, man. Like they don't let him spar with kids his age because he hurts them bad without trying. And then in jujitsu, he takes on high schoolers and they can't tap him out. He's tapping them out, choking them out. So there's something going on there with the birds. But his birds lovers got some crazy athletic ability when it comes to fighting because I fought my whole life. I was all right with both hands, but this guy can hit you with the left. And if he misses, the wind from his miss is going to give you pneumonia, and you're going to die anyways. I swear. But anyways, that's the end of the stream, guys. Love you all. Pound the like button, drop a comment. Till next time, we'll do it again. Yeah, dog.